Our first guests are brothers as well as the chefs behind the Blue Ribbon Restaurant Empire, New York's original go-to late-night dining spots for celebrities and chefs and locals alike. Please welcome Bruce and Eric Bromberg.
Great to see you.
Now, what's the story? You didn't wear the same color.
We're really close. We're in the blue family.
You are not close. You are green, and you are navy-ish.
It's a long story.
It's a long story.
We both aim for blue.
Okay, well, they're probably yes, Blue Ribbon.
That's right.
How'd you get the name Blue Ribbon?
Well, we both studied at Cordon Bleu.
You're Bruce, right?
I'm Bruce.
Yeah, okay.
We both studied at Cordon Bleu in Paris.
Oh, you did?
And the
at
literal...
At the same time or at a different time?
Eric was 5 years before me. And both when we finished college...
Are you older?
I am older, 5 years older.
5 years older, okay.
Yeah. So right when we finished college, we were lacking some direction. And Eric wound up heading over to Paris and working and studying at Cordon Bleu, and I went 5 years later. But Cordon Bleu, the direct translation, is Blue Ribbon.
Exactly.
And when we came back, we didn't want to be a French restaurant. We wanted to be an American restaurant.
Right.
But we wanted it to mean something to us and our training and everything.
Oh, so
that was...
See? I thought it was just because you win blue ribbons every time I go there to eat.
Well, that brings us to the Blue Ribbon idea, the American side of Blue Ribbon, which is
first prize.
First prize. And that always meant something really important to us from when we were at camp and we're water skiing, and whoever got the blue ribbon was really doing the best job.
So competitive brothers?
I think we were competitive, generally at camp. But in these days, not so competitive.
More cooperative.
Very cooperative.
And how many restaurants? This is an empire. You opened your first in 1992, right?
Blue Ribbon on Sullivan was
on Sullivan, yeah. And that's where I usually still go. Try to go. I mean, the last time I didn't get a seat.
Uh-oh. Well, Mom struggles for seats too. So.
I had to leave because I didn't have time.
It's a tiny little restaurant, so it fills up so quickly.
And then, so have the two of you always cooked together?
We've always done everything together. When we were younger, we basically fought together, and then we did projects together.
Oh, I remember the fights. Oh,
we were always. I remember our parents always separating us, and saying, "You go here, you go here." But we always did stuff together. We always built model planes. We always played with Hot Wheels.
There's three of you, though.
There's three. We have an older brother, Ken.
And what does he do?
He's our lawyer.
Oh, excellent! You always have to have a lawyer in the family.
He keeps us out of trouble and keeps us moving in the right direction.
Now, what just influenced us in wanting you on the show was that you just published this not just, but recently published the Blue Ribbon Cookbook. And every page is mouth-wateringly good.
Thank you.
And so we chose some recipes from here today. One is the pulled pork.
We're going to make the barbecue pork sandwich that we serve at Blue Ribbon Bakery.
Okay.
And we also do a version of it at Brooklyn Bowl and a version of it at Blue Ribbon Brook.
So it goes from this. Now, what kind of pork is this? This is very beautiful pork.
This is Duroc pork, which is
grown where?
Grown in New Jersey, and it's from the original gene pool of the first domesticated pig for consumption in the 1800s that came over to the U.S.
They've kept it.
They essentially brought it back, and it's now.
Great.
Should we start cooking?
Yes.
Okay. So we have start with a food processor, and we'll take our onions and carrots, celery and garlic.
And these recipes will be on our website at marthastewart.com, so don't fret if you don't write it all down.
And we have salt.
And so 1/4 cup of salt.
Right, quite a bit. And cumin, quite a bit of cumin.
Yeah, 3 tablespoons.
This recipe originated from one of our guys who's worked as a butcher and a baker for us since 1989. And he's from Ecuador, and he brought this seasoning blend. So we'll pulse that.
1989.
1989.
Eric's first restaurant.
My first restaurant.
Oh, you had one. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So we just pulse it like this, and then we'll add water to make a smooth
sort of paste.
Sort of a paste that becomes the marinade and the cure. It's kind of a wet cure.
Yeah.
This is one of those dishes that started out as really Francisco, the gentleman who worked for us, he would make this for festivals and things that he would do.
Oh,
He'd
yeah.
say, can I use the oven?
So you don't trim the fat off.
We left the fat on, and we're just going to pour this marinade over the top.
And how long does it stay with marinade?
Minimum of 2 hours, but it's really best if it goes overnight. And so we can rub this all around, and eventually it will penetrate to the center, and then it'll
You
bring us
turn
to
it all
this.
overnight, or?
You don't really need to turn it. You just need to make sure it's all around it. You can do it in a bag or do it on the tray.
Yeah, so beautiful.
And then,
okay.
then once it's spent the time in the fridge, at least 2 hours, we're going to cover with parchment and then aluminum.
Okay. And you
And
like I am? Do you like to do that?
Yeah, just because it can react with the meat especially. So once we cover this is going to go into a 350-degree oven for about 4.5 hours. One thing that's important also that we have to do is we're going to add water into the pot, just because we don't want it to burn at the bottom. So we're going to pour water up to about halfway. And
So
it's
how
going
many
to kind of
hours? How many
steam and
hours?
braise, 4.5 hours.
So that's a good long time.
That's a good long time, and the meat is just going to fall apart at that point. So what we're going to do quickly, after that comes out of the oven, this is basically what we have.
How sad.
Yes, and but it will make a couple of good sandwiches. Yes, but there is a lot of fat that's going to break down and cook
This
up.
may not have been quite as big as that when it
Yeah.
I
started.
hope so.
There was something went on, but maybe you can
Nikki,
help,
was this
Martha.
the same size?
It was the same
Is
size.
Nikki there?
It was the same.
It was pretty much the same, right?
five
So it
pounds.
does cook down.
Yeah, 4.5 hours of cooking. So then what we'll do is what they call like shredding the pork or pulling the pork, and you can see how it just absolutely falls down.
It is so beautiful.
And if you shred it, it's a really nice way to eat it. You don't cut it with the knife, so it's in chunks, and this just kind of makes it really
now,
tender.
do you like the
and
outside
smooth.
or the inside?
The outside is always
I
the
like
first.
the right mixture.
A little
And
bit
we're
of the
gonna
skin and
learn
such.
the barbecue sauce next.
And then next thing we're gonna do, and what
really
maybe we can continue doing that, Eric,
I'll
and we're
do
gonna
that.
put it into this dish. We're gonna start with the barbecue sauce, and these are all our ingredients for the barbecue sauce. So it has Coca-Cola. Or any cola
Well, it needs
that you
that, right?
want.
Yes.
Yep, it adds
What
a
about
little bit
root
of the
beer?
flavor. Root beer will work. Really anything that you want to season with. We're going to add in the honey, and maybe Martha, you can just pass me the maple syrup.
Oh, a cup of maple
A
syrup.
cup of maple syrup, and all of these ingredients go straight into the pot. The ketchup as well.
Ketchup.
Ketchup as well. This is all American recipe.
What kind of ketchup?
We actually use Heinz ketchup.
Oh, good. I like Heinz.
These are all stuff we ate as kids. We threw it all into a pot and
There.
came up with a good recipe. And then we really just bring this up to a simmer, and we're going to cook it for about an
about
hour
that?
and a half. That's the finished sauce.
Oh,
That's the finished barbecue sauce, right? We're going to add a little bit of the cayenne pepper.
What about the beer?
And the beer is
forget the
essential.
beer.
Wow,
Yes.
I almost forgot the beer.
Oh, no,
That would have been
I'm not
terrible.
going to let you forget the ingredients.
And then the serrano chilies as well.
And what about this?
And the beer, and a little bit of the blue ribbon hot sauce as well.
So do you sell that at the restaurant?
We do. We sell it at our
great.
little market and at the restaurants as well.
Oh,
It's
look at
great
this.
on oysters and also great for making the barbecue sauce. So once that simmers, we're going to cook it for about an hour and a half.
I'm just scraping down all your...
Excellent. No waste.
No waste.
No waste. So after an hour and a half, this is really what we're left with. This thick, rich sauce. You can see how the color
No
has
lemon.
changed.
No lemon in it.
No lemon in it. The color has really changed, and what we're going to do then is we're going to take the barbecue pork, which Eric has, and we can push over to Eric so he can put that there. And just to strain out the chili peppers as well, I'm going to strain this quickly through.
Okay.
You can just help me
I
bring
will.
that out.
Okay. Oh, boy, does that smell good.
Doesn't it? Oopsie,
I'll do
we
it.
lost a little.
Okay.
And then we just can mix. We have some prepared sauce here as well. Here, if you want to mix that.
And so do you bottle this too?
We bottle that
So
as
you
well.
don't
yeah.
have to make it if you don't want
It's
to.
a fun cooking process, though,
It is,
and really
though,
very
yeah.
easy. And your house smells amazing.
When did you come up with this?
This is the very beginning
barbecue sauce.
of actually Blue Ribbon and a little bit of Nick and Eddie.
And it was one of those standing around a big, huge cauldron in the
Tasty.
kitchen and just adding everything. So then we add the barbecue sauce over the shredded pork, and we're going to put this back into the oven for about
So all
8 minutes.
all of it or just a little
Just
bit of
enough to coat it, really.
it? Oh, okay.
And then we can just make some of the sandwiches.
Okay, on
And
what kind of bread do you use?
We have our own bakery, which is pretty fantastic. We have a 140-year-old bread brick oven in the West Village. So we use a ciabatta.
So you make this?
We make this bread, and it's just a
it
soft
smells
ciabatta.
So good.
These ones for the sandwiches are soft, kind of soft. We par cook them. We don't fully cook, so it's not too crunchy. And then really, we're just going to put the barbecue sauce right on. We're going to grab a plate, and we can put that guy there.
And I need
a
this.
little drizzle of the barbecue
just a
sauce.
little?
Or up to you.
I like a
lot.
lot.
I wouldn't go too little. And then a little bit of our coleslaw. And that's too little, right?
Yeah.
We need a little more, absolutely.
Now, is this recipe in the book, too?
That is in the book as well. And then if you need, we just put that guy right on
wow.
top. And there is the barbecue pork
And
sandwich.
that's delicious. So, another recipe that caught my eye was an ultimate version of everyone's favorite fried chicken. And we're going to be right back to show you how to make that.